And that wasn't all. I haven't told you yet that Scotland was involved in all this, because the Scots never missed an opportunity to invade England and cause trouble if they thought England was in trouble. So there was an invasion from Scotland. There was an invasion too from one of Harold's brothers. There were a family of 6 sons. Sweyn had died. Harold was all right the next. One of his younger brothers was called Tostig. And Tostig had been made Earl of Northumbria, made a mess of it. Harold sacked him, and Tostig spent the rest of his life swearing vengeance and threatening to invade with whoever he could persuade to give him an army and a fleet. So Tostig was going to invade as well. And Tostig finished up first with Scotland and then with the King of Norway. Tostig was a nuisance. A thoroughly nasty piece of work too. So we had Fulford, we had Stamford Bridge, we had Hastings. At the end of it all, Tostig was dead. He died at Stamford Bridge. Harold Hardrada was dead. He died at Stamford Bridge. The man who fired that arrow must have, or would have, congratulated himself for the rest of his life had he lived. He took a pot shot at Harold Hardrada, 6'6", and struck him in the throat. And Hardrada died. I've no doubt that the Vikings went berserk for revenge afterwards, and that archer couldn't have lived to enjoy his success for very long. Even William, you would think, having won the battle, everything would have been all right. No, William got dysentery. You can imagine what camp life was like. No hygiene at all. William was laid out for 4 or 5 weeks with dysentery. So he could have gone too. Imagine the vacuum then. And even that was not the end, because at last he got himself crowned on Christmas Day of 1066. And everybody who was anybody, those who were left, was in Westminster Abbey, Edward the Confessor's brand new Westminster Abbey. When it got to the stage where they had to ask the crowd whether they approved of King William, so they all were going to shout, "Long live King William," they did. They let rip with an enormous shout. And the crowd outside heard it. And the Norman troops guarding the streets heard it. And they thought there was a riot. They thought everything had gone wrong. So they dashed round all the houses round about the abbey and burning them down. They could have been within an inch of burning down the abbey itself. They say even William was shaken by what had happened. The chronicler refers to the fact that William's knuckles whitened as he held on to the arms of the coronation throne. But, all right, it turned out to be a false alarm. But it was a very close call once again.